place where truth is established, you go and associate with that.
Jay Sri Radheshyam and welcome. Today we have our wonderful session with Vaishnava Acharya Sri Chandan Goswami, who will walk us on this path of bhakti. Chandan Goswami Ji, I am happy to have you here one more time. How are you?
Bien, muy bien. Very, it's my pleasure to be here with you again. And I'm looking forward for all the shootings of the questions.
Thank you very much. Please, in name of all the followers and all the ones who are watching this video, accept my reverence, my obeisance to you and to your complete parivar.
Jai Radharman.
In the previous 4 episodes, we spoke so many things. Very interesting, I must to say. Very interesting. And always in the channel, we are looking to give a step a little bit further, always, in order to expand the consciousness and the understanding of the sadhakas. Saying this, this channel is not especially like a preaching channel. It's like a researching channel where I am doing the interviews, reading stuff, sharing, putting different point of view on the table so everyone can start expanding their vision and expanding their knowledge on the Siddhanta. So previously we spoke about the Gopal Bhatt Parivar, that is your spiritual family, and you mentioned super interesting points that I feel like, wow, I am so glad to hear this. And it was regarding to Gopal Bhatta following the Shastras and the writings of the Purvacharyas as a one-way bridge, not going to many divergences and this one say this one say that. No, it's just going on the path of the Shastras, and this I think was really wonderful to hear, and I'm sure that the ones who were listening you, they have a very good insight of how the Bhakti path truly is, or the Gaudiya Bhakti path. So now I have some questions for you.
Okay.
And these questions are going on the same direction and trying to clarify the mind of many of the sadhakas who are around the world, not only in Bharat, but everywhere, who can understand basically English. They can have some answer on these topics that sometimes is like a gray zone that is not very clear, and maybe nobody have been properly asking or writing down this, or if there are some granted some books or some instructions, maybe have been a little bit not found normally. So the first question is about Grihastra life. And Grihastra life, we understand, is the marriage life, but inside the Dharma or Paradharma. So is Grihastra life in relation to sexual life? What does it mean to be a Grihastra? What is the Sadhaka, the Vaishnav approach to sexuality and to the family life?
See, as far as I understand, keeping your sperm or storing or keeping them according to all the different kind of yoga system in the Sanatana Dharma, they all say that this brings the potency in your bhajan. It makes your bhajan more potent. That's the very first thing. According to our scriptures, Jiva Veg Mudaropastha Vegam, when Sri Rup Goswami is speaking about how a sadhak should live, the very first thing he says that he should be controlling his senses. He shouldn't be too much drawn into his senses. So many acharyas have spoken that only if you want to go for a child, then get indulged into it. But getting into something now and then, it definitely disturbs your mind. I'm talking in a very normal term here, because you would be thinking about that woman all the time, or a man all the time. You would be thinking about so many different stuff related to that man or a woman, just because you want to have a physical pleasure. So it's said that by doing that, you would actually get distracted. Your mind would get distracted. Now mind only can do one thing. It cannot be occupied on the two different scenarios. Either you occupy your mind on Thakurji, on Radha Krishna, or you can use that mind for a worldly pleasure. So when you are using that too much on a worldly pleasure, then you are not thinking about Thakurji. Basically, you are not at all thinking about Thakurji. And when you are not thinking about Thakurji, then this is not how the sadhak should live. So it's said that you have to know, you have to learn the art to control your urges. And by controlling it, then that's how you should even live in your married life. A grhastha can be a brahmachari as well, according to the scriptures. Who is known as brahmachari? Even if someone is grhastha, the one who is only going for a physical affair when he wants a child in his family, with his wife, from his wife, that becomes a grhastha brahmachari. That is known as a grhastha brahmachari.
Yeah.
So this is what it is mentioned. But obviously everyone are on a different state. There are devotees who are on a tama level, there are devotees who are on a rajas level, there are the devotees who are on a sattva level, and there are devotees who are above than all of these three modes. So I cannot personally, it's very hard for everyone to actually control their senses. Even we read in the scriptures, all the sages who were even trying to control their senses, they had to, at some point of a time, something had happened, and Maya is so powerful that, they came down from their standards. So, but the main focus thing is that how are you controlling yourself, and are you really winning or not winning? If your mind is winning over you, over your intelligence, then there is a problem. Then you have to work hard to make your intelligence rule yourself. See, all the yoga system, what does yoga system really talk about? Yoga system talk about, there is a one intelligence, that how to live a life. You either can live a life intelligently, or you can live a life by following what your mood says. Oh, today my mood is saying that I want to do this, I want to eat this, oh, I want to go and watch this movie, or I want to spend this time with my wife, or I want to drink this. So how are you really living your life? So the very same thing for every yogi, either is a brahmachari, grhastha, vanprastha, or sannyasi. How are you really focusing about it? So the main thing which in Updeshamrit, which I actually understand from the Rupa Goswami, the very first thing he says that if you really want to become a sadhak, want to become a devotee, then you should be living your life intelligently. And intelligently means that don't even start to follow your mind now and then, that oh, today I want to actually enjoy because my mood says so. No, you shouldn't, because you are distracting from your goal. It's like, you are working in an office, let's say, it's a 12 hours of job, let's say, it's a 12 hours of job or 10 hours of job. But in a 10 hours of time, how much time are you dedicating really, for your job, and how much time you are actually dedicating stealing the time, as like sending messages to your wife and saying, oh, I miss you, let's do this, let's do that. So are you really there for the job? No, you are not. You are distracted. In a very same way, when this body is already been taken the shelter of Radha Krishna, when we have devoted our life, then how much time are you really giving to Radha Krishna, and how much are you distracted from Radha Krishna? And another thing is, are you doing everything as a Krishna's devotee? Because this is how the Sharanagati, the surrendered six stage niyams or six types of surrenders which is mentioned in our scriptures, that are you really living your life as a Krishna devotee, or sometimes you just want, no, I don't care that even I am a Krishna devotee, I don't care at all, let me live as how I am. Then I is Maya.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then
Great.
I is a false identity.
Yes.
I is a false identity. So whatever pleasure you are getting is a false identity, because at the end of the day, it will give you some kind of a feeling that, oh God, I did not do this thing right, this, that, blah, 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 so many things, right? So agrasta sadhak or any other sadhak, because this rule applies to everyone, one should learn how to control, and one should live his life by viveka, by intelligence.
Wow. There is everything. Concentrate, really. And I think the top is when you say I is Maya.
It
so
is.
This is the point. Yeah, absolutely. Wow.
You won't come up and say a Krishna's das is going to enjoy the physical affair.
Yes. You are very right. Wow. This yeah, great. This is what I was looking for. Yeah, that's great. So the question that came from this same topic, just to expand a little bit more and to make it more understandable, from where a sadhaka should start, and what should be the goal in the process of their spiritual life? How they start controlling themselves, and what should be the goal? What will be perfect?
What kind of a control? Are we talking about a physical control, a physical urges which we get, or are we talking about every kind of a control?
No, especially speaking about sexual life, family life.
Okay, so the very first thing has been mentioned, that not just, okay, let's say that, okay, I want to have a child, but you do not know in a medical terms, or even, according to what I have read in the scriptures, that once only I will actually engage with my wife and I will have a child. No, it will take some time. Whether it takes like 1 month, it takes 2 months, it takes 5 months, it takes 6 months, whatever the process would be. But the idea in that mind is that I am going, by the mercy of Radha and Krishna, I'm going to expand my family, and I hope, and that by the mercy of Krishna, I will get Krishna Bhakta. So the main goal is that I'm not actually having a son, I'm actually having a Krishna's das. What I'm trying to do is that in my family, I want to have a Krishna's das. So this is the entire goal of that. And in that entire goal, so many things about the Garbhadhan Sanskara is mentioned in the scriptures. They talk about that, what is the right time to go for it, when one should be actually getting engaged into such kind of activities. So all those things are mentioned, and even like going for it, you have to get to the point that your wife should be starting doing some particular mantras, chanting some pujas, by focusing on the small Laddu Gopal or a small Gopal, focusing on meditating upon that I want the Krishna's blessings, that I want him to come in my womb and I want to become a mother of him. So there is a whole entire Harivansh Puran has a whole Santan Gopal mantra mentioned in there. And we do follow that. We do follow it. I have seen it even in our Gaudiya Sampradaya, even in Radharaman Goswami family, everyone, usually everyone, they all follow Santan Gopal mantra or Santan Gopal Vidhi. And because this is and you have to read every day, either Harivansh Puran or Srimad Bhagavatam, one chapter every day. Once, a wife conceive, she has to go through with that. Every day she has to read until, the boy is is not, a boy or a girl is not born.
Acha.
So because when a wife is reading, she is feeding that child all the devotion.
Jai Ho.
So that's the process of of a garbhadhan, in a way, in a very simple terms I'm talking about. So one should be very much focused of how one is doing it, what is the reason of doing it, and what do you really want from that. If you just want a child, I'm happy for you. But for me, like when we went for our child for the Garbhadhan Sanskar, we followed all the scriptural way, or like the process of like how we should be going, because I'm actually I was trying for a child who could be a good devotee of Radharaman, and we have to follow what the Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami have spoken. I don't want someone who comes out as rubbish, as like some demon kind of a boy. We have our whole parampara to take care of. We have to take care of devotion. We have to safely guard our system. So to follow each and everything, we have to go through with all of that sanskar. Now the problem is that no one actually follows the Garbhadhan sanskar. Everyone follows Vivah sanskar, Yagyopavita sanskar, head shaving ceremony, or the Antim sanskar, the last rite, but no one is actually following that seed, Garbhadhan sanskar, because from that only the good right soul will come of a Vaishnava. So it is very important to follow that, to have a right Prahlad like devotee who would come in your family and would make each and every family member to get liberation, or to Bhagavad Dham. We need such kind of a potent devotees in our life. So the best thing is that when you're getting into your family life, you're getting into having a child, then go with the right steps of Garbhadhan Sanskar. That's how you should control yourself, and that's how you should live.
Jai Ho, Jai Ho. Wow, beautiful words, really heart-touching words. In case that some devotee is willing to have this path but is lacking on information, can them approach to you to guide for some basic guidance on this?
Yes, always. There are so many devotees who come and approach us for the same.
Brilliant. That's wonderful. That's wonderful, and it's a crystal clear answer. And this is exactly what is needed in these times of so much pollution. My next question is about the Holy Dam. For Gaudiyas speaking, Vrindavan, Navadvip, yes, Puridam, mainly where our Vaishnavas are living or doing the Leelas or Purvacharyas. Is, in your opinion, or based on Shastra, on the Granthas, what is the mind, what should be the mind of the ones who are living in the Holy Dam, and what is the recommended for the ones who are not living in the dam in this moment? This is the question.
So Dham has its own purity. It is very potent in itself, but on a very same time, the devotees are not potent. So there are few things which are mentioned in for a Dham Vas. The very first thing is that one should be coming here during the festivals, visiting when Dham for Chaturya Mas sadhana. And if you really want to live in Vrindavan, then do not indulge in any kind of material affairs as well as financial affairs. what I see it, and it's a very practical problem. This is my understanding, my experience. After reading all the scriptures, after understanding everything, when Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati is highly speaking about Vrindavan and is saying that whoever you are, whatever you are, you just come down to Vrindavan and get the blessing. He is pouring out that how much Vrindavan is merciful. But are you really taking the mercy? This is the question. Are you really taking the mercy? Because someone have asked few days ago that Maharaji, what is mercy, and how can we know that that person is merciful? Because let's say you are my guru, you are giving me mercy, but how do I know whether I'm getting the mercy or not? I said that if the pot is full and pot has no holes, then the mercy would be seen from far. But if the pot have so many of holes, that whatever mercy has been given, all the mercy will come out, will leak out from that pot. So this is how we understand. This is how we understand. Vrindavan is a sadhaka bhumi as well as a sadhana bhumi. It is a land for those who wants to do the spiritual practices, and it is a land where you get the realization. It is a highly realized land in its own ways. So my understanding, I'm not getting into like this understanding, that understanding, my understanding. Let's say I have seen so many times that many people who have, in a recent times, in last 25 years, I would say, 25 to 30 years, that many people actually have shifted to Vrindavan. Once they have shifted to Vrindavan, they are doing businesses in Vrindavan. They are dealing with Brajvasis. They are dealing with Vaishnavs, all different types of Vaishnavs. All different types of Brajvasis. When you are dealing financially with Brajvasis as well as with Vaishnavs, there are 100% chances that you will commit aparadh. Vaishnava aparadh and Brajvasi aparadh. So even though you would be here and Vrindavan is being merciful, but because of those aparadhs, all the kripa of Vrindavan would be leaking out.
Yes.
And the second thing is why I'm saying that. So in Banke Bihari temple, right? So Banke Bihari temple have a huge followership of big businessmen, industrialists of India. Not from now, 70, 80 years, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. It's still like whatever Banke Bihari really eats is made in one of that industrialist house every day. And from his house only that food goes to Banke Bihari and he eats that. Still, till now, till this date.
Wow.
So they have a very beautiful saying. So from Banke Bihari temple to ISKCON temple, those who have been here, you go to left or right, anywhere, every land, last 100 years used to belong to those class of people, those devotees. They had their big houses, built up. They had like all the huge lands, everything. Till now, even if you want to buy any land around here, which is not been sold last like 20-30 years, that land belongs to one of the industrialists. They all are devotees. And very stern devotees. They are industrialists as well as they are very stern devotees. Super good sadachar in their families. So my point is, they have said a very nice thing. They have said that please, I have the whole world to do the business. I don't want to corrupt my sadhana place. I will never do any business in Dham. That's the saying in there, in those all the industrialists, that we have the entire world to do the business. If I will bring that finance, that money in the Dham, then what is the difference between Dham as well as the whole world? Because I'm bringing Maya into it.
Yes.
So my question is, there is always a specific place to do the sadhana as well as do the business. Can you do your sadhana in the business place or in your office?
No, it's different.
Maybe you can do chanting and whatever. But can you do business in your sadhana place?
And no,
In your temple?
no, that's different. Yeah.
Huh? Why can't you do it?
Well, in my opinion, is because the mandir or the sadhana place is the place for the sadhana. It's the Krishna's place. It's for
It is for the sattva.
Huh.
It is a place of a sattva. Money matters comes with the rajas.
Yeah.
This place, this Vrindavan or this dham is actually sattva, or gunatit. I wouldn't even get into like sattva is gunatita, beyond all the modes. Is the purest form of all the dhams. The place where truth is established, you go and associate with that.
Bhajanita Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Bhajanita Gaura Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram Jai Mahavira Radha Raman Jai Nitai Jai Gaur Jai Jai Sri Radheshyam